I will be the friend that's too woke because those Sydney Sweeney American Eagle ads are weird. Like fascist weird. Like Nazi propaganda weird.
My body's composition is determined by my genes. Hey, eyes up here.
We interrupt this program to prescribe you with 1,000 milligrams of red vitamins.
Right here, right now. It's the right time, It's the right sound. Right now. Tell the whole pipe down. Tell the nigga pipe down.
What's good, Shadow Realm? It's your boy Reclaim Your Throne coming at you with another crazy video. But first, my goal is to get to 10,000 subscribers by the end of the month. So make sure you go ahead and like, comment, share, subscribe. You already know. Reclaim your throne.
What's your age?
28.
Are you single?
I am.
What problems do you run into dating men in Chicago?
They're broke.
They're broke.
They're broke.
Why is a man having money and being rich important to you?
Like, I'm working towards a certain lifestyle. So, like, being someone who's not working through that towards a certain lifestyle is unattractive. I'm a child of immigrants. So, like, all I know is hard work. It's kind of, like, disappointing.
Surely you don't think relationships revolve only around money?
They absolutely shouldn't. But I think both partners should work equally as hard. I think everybody should, like, match up with their partner in terms of, like, what you're willing to give and what you're wanting out of life.
But level with me, right?
I'm leveling.
Do you think if you met a multi-millionaire that he would look at you and go, I'm ready, it's just her? Or is he going to have his pick of the litter and, you know, do what he does?
Depends. Like, you can be a multi-millionaire, also have and be a shitty person and attract nobody. Like, it depends.
But do you think the millionaire is going to give you more time, or the guy who's broke and still building?
Depends. I feel like those have nothing to do with each other. Like, the amount of effort someone's willing to put in and what they make has nothing to do with each other.
So I see what he did there. He is basically asking her why she's single in Chicago, what are the challenges that she faces, and she says money, they're broke, the men are broke. And this is hilarious because we continually hear women say, oh, it's not about money, it's not all about money. Meanwhile, when you actually get them and put their feet to the fire in these street interviews, when they are being candid and real, they say, hey, yeah, it is about money, it absolutely is about money. And then the brother goes on to ask her another line of questioning saying, hey, okay, well, you're all upset with these broke guys because they don't have money, but they're willing to give time, maybe a little bit more commitment, maybe more loyalty. Would you exchange that loyalty, that time, that commitment for a multimillionaire who, yeah, you'll be in a relationship with, but he's kind of going to do his own thing. He's going to, he's going to explore his options. As we know, sexual access and sexual variety is essential to a man's mental health. So he's gonna go do that. Are you cool with that? And she's like, oh, well, no, you can still be a shitty person and be a multi-millionaire. But I don't think that is exactly what he's getting at. He is basically saying that a man who is having money, a man who is having his way in life financially, is gonna have his way in every aspect. So I think that this was an interesting interaction. And she kind of tried to say, oh, well, these two things have nothing to do with each other, and they absolutely do. When you have more money, when you have more access, you're able to do more things, and that opens you up to more opportunities with women. So I don't know if these modern women are catching on to the dating game. She's 28, and she doesn't have that much time, so she's gonna have to pretty much get locked down soon. Otherwise, she's not gonna have any options by the time she hits 30 because she's gonna hit the wall.
I will be the friend that's too woke because those Sydney Sweeney American Eagle ads are weird. Like fascist weird. Like Nazi propaganda weird.
My body's composition is determined by my genes. Hey, eyes up here.
Sydney Sweeney has very genes.
Genes are passed down from parents to offspring, often determining traits like hair color, personality, and even eye color. My genes are blue.
Sydney Sweeney has very keens.
Should we be surprised that a company whose name is literally American Eagle is making fascist propaganda like this? Probably not, but it's still really shocking. Like, a blonde-haired, blue-eyed white woman is talking about her good genes. Like, that is Nazi propaganda. I also am thinking about like all of the young girls who are doing their back to school shopping right now at places like American Eagle who are seeing ads like this. Yikes. Also, American Eagle is mostly a brand that like teenagers to like young adults shop at, and so the fact that like this type of advertising is being used that feels so for the male gaze and so over sexualized, like I just don't like it. I don't like it even a little bit. Bro, and I haven't even mentioned the fact that this entire ad campaign that Sydney Sweeney is doing right now is incredibly reminiscent to the Brooke Shields Calvin Klein jeans ad campaign that she did when she was 14 years old. That was extremely over-sexualized and weird. Yeah. Why are we referencing that? Why are we referencing that? I thought we agreed that that was weird that they had her do that. So we got a blonde-haired, blue-eyed white woman talking about her good genes in an ad campaign that is a reference to a 14-year-old Brooke Shields Calvin Klein's ad campaign that we've all agreed was really weird and predatory. Yeah, I don't like this one. I don't like it. I don't like anything about it, actually. Nope.
So, you know, I actually get what she's saying here. She's saying that it was Nazi propaganda, that she's talking about her good genes, blonde hair, blue-eyed, all this kind of stuff. And I mean, the ad to me, I don't have any problem with the oh, I have good genes ad. I guess it's like a play on words, right? But I mean, it was a little corny. I'm not gonna lie. It was a little corny. The buttoning up the pants and the soft voice with no music or audio in the background. The ad was corny to me, but that doesn't negate the fact that you have an overweight LGBT involved woman who is hating on an in shape, Sydney Sweeney, she's mid. She's like a 6. But I mean, you have an overweight woman who is hating on her, and that I think is the emphasis of this video. You got a lot of these LGBT, overweight chicks who are upset with women who are actually in shape and perceivingly beautiful, because a lot of guys think Sydney Sweeney's a lot hotter than she actually is. I think she's mid. I think she's a 6. I don't think she's ugly. I think she's pretty, but I just don't think she's like how they're hyping her up to be, right? Like she's not like a who's what was her name? Something Simpson back in the day, the blonde chick. I can't remember her name, but either way, she's not like the baddest it girl, right? She's kind of like a girl next door attainable look, and I think that's kind of why they're pushing her out there, because she's on the borderline of mid, borderline of hot, borderline of attainable, and I think that's her appeal. But you do have like all these overweight women who are upset with her because she is doing an ad that is supposedly enticing the male gaze or whatnot. These women just hate that other women are actually interested in men, attracting men, maybe seducing men, maybe creating a loyal man fan base and catering to that fan base. That is exactly what Sydney Sweeney does. She has left her fiance so that she can explore this avenue of marketing, which is very interesting as well, but that's for another topic, okay? But I find it interesting that she brought up like the 14-year-old girl, because this really has nothing to do with anybody being underage. Sydney Sweeney is a grown adult woman. She can do what she pleases. But you know, it's just funny that you got this type of chick who is going after Sydney Sweeney, but I guarantee she supports sex work and OF workers and all this kind of stuff. So you got a lot of hypocrisy coming out of the overweight LGBT movement, and I think it's something to it's definitely something to be aware of so that we can call it out.
This was Ted Bundy's warning to America the day before he was executed.
I've lived in prison for a long time now, and I've met a lot of men who were motivated to commit violence just like me. And without exception, every one of them was deeply involved in pornography without question.
Why are we still treating the issue of pornography as normal and harmless when testimony after testimony it is proven to be a catalyst for the work of violent criminals, sex offenders, and pedophiles? Ted Bundy blamed pornography for the killing of 30 women and girls and said that during his time in prison, every violent criminal he came in contact with was either deeply addicted to or involved in pornography. Porn is one of the many things in our culture that people think doesn't affect them because they don't consume it. I think this is misunderstood by people, but the majority of porn is not merely adults having consensual sex. It's violence, it's force, it's dehumanization, and it portrays women and girls as soulless, choiceless, meaningless objects to be used solely for domination and pleasure. 86% of porn scenes display physical violence towards women who a lot of the time are underage and trafficked into this industry. Several years ago, a 15-year-old girl went missing and a year later was seen in 58 of the most popular pornographic videos. These consumers are not getting off to love, intimacy, and romance. They are being psychologically rewired to fetishize rape, abuse, and pedophilia. Pain, domination, and torture are key components to most porn videos, desensitizing these sick fantasies to any long-term viewer. Porn creates addicts who are numb to sexual stimulation, who escalate to darker, more hardcore content, who later go on to inflict real-world violence. Porn is no private vice, it's a public health emergency. This multi-billion-dollar institution feeds on the most vulnerable people, the poor, the abused, the trafficked, all to spit out entertainment. Why are churches silent? Why are politicians too afraid to touch on this topic? And why are we more concerned about shaming men than protecting women and children from industrial scale exploitation? Look around you. The rates of rape and domestic abuse, the rise of pedophilia, the sixth graders addicted to hardcore porn before they even hit puberty. This is a worldwide injustice and a crime against humanity. Every one of us needs to fight back against this evil and literally burn this institution to the ground.
You know, it's so rich coming from modern women when they say, oh, ban corn, ban corn. Meanwhile, they are the main participants in this. We all know that 10% of modern women between the ages of 18 and 24 are involved in OF or some type or form of intercourse work. We know that 30% of women on college campuses have sugar daddies and are involved in intercourse work or on seeking arrangements or some other app that connects them to older men who can pay for their bills. So the funny thing is, you got these women grandstanding about banning corn and oh, well, Ted Bundy, a convicted serial killer. You're gonna take the word of a convicted serial killer? Really? Anything that he says to me is hogwash. It's BS, okay? Because literally, he's the majority of guys who are in here for violent crimes and sexual crimes were addicted to corn. Okay, well, guess what? The reality is 97% of the world watches corn. And if we want to talk about violent corn, women are the number one consumers of violent corn. Studies have shown that women are more likely to search out violent corn scenes than men are. So it's so funny. Not only are they the number one participants in this act, and she said, oh, well, why are we afraid to shame men? No, you're afraid to shame the women who participate in it. Men are just a consumer. It's like you're blaming the drug addict. You're blaming the drug addict instead of going after the drug dealer. Who are the drug dealers? The women and a certain community who owns the industry, who we're not going to speak on today, okay? So y'all need to start directing your animosity to the women who are willingly participating in this. She wanted to bring up, oh, well, there was this 15-year-old girl who went missing, and then she was in a whole bunch of porn scenes. How about this? That is like 1 out of every 100,000 a bitch who start a OnlyFans. The reality is modern women, and I know they're gonna hate to hear this, but modern women actually love and enjoy doing porn. They love doing the scenes. They love having intercourse for money. The only issue is they're shamed for it publicly, and that is what makes them adverse to it. That is what makes them, say, oh, it ruined my life. It's not because, they just had sex with a whole bunch of guys for money. No, they like that part. The part that they don't like is having to be judged for it for the rest of their life. Just like Mia Khalifa. She's out here talking about, oh, don't judge me for my corn, don't judge me for my corn, but you're still on OF, okay? You got Riley Reid, who just married a dude, and she's like, oh, well, it affects me. You got Lana Rhoades saying, oh, well, I used to do it, and now I think it's evil, but still got an OF. So these women are straight hypocrites. They're the ones who are participating in this. They're the ones who are keeping the industry alive and well, and they are the ones who are mainly watching the violent sect of this type of content. Not only are they watching that type of content, and then they're gonna, oh, well, the violence and all this stuff is because of corn. No, it's not, because the majority of men in the world watch corn. So the reality is that okay, if you want to make a sweeping statement, so, oh, well, everybody who is in prison for violent crime, they were porn addicts and all this kind of stuff. Bro, that doesn't mean anything, because 97% of the world is watching this type of content, okay? So that's just, or 97% of men, rather. That's just like saying, oh, well, they're men, so they commit crime. So you're making a broad, sweeping statement over a gender when the majority of people in this gender are actually doing, free or not, who aren't committing crime. So you have men who are outside of them walls, who aren't committing crimes, who are corn addicts, and actually corn actually subdues you. It actually makes you less hungry, not only for real world pussy, but that's what they say, it like kills your drive to go and start a business or whatever, or work. I don't really buy that. I really don't, because all men are watching corn. That's just the reality. So if you're gonna say, oh, well, the men in prison were really watching porn, okay, so is everybody else outside of prison. Now what? So the only way to stop this industry from growing is to cut off the supply of women, and that will never happen, because women love doing sex work. But you already know what it is. It's your boy, ReclaimYourThrone. Make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe. Send your relationship questions to email down below with a screenshot of your CashApp, so no you paying your time. Man, y'all need to be in your motherfucking with the BS. You already know. Reclaim your throne.
Want to become an elite level athlete? Well, look no further. The Reclaim Your Throne Elite D1 training course is all you need to take your performance from subpar to the creme de la creme of athletes all around the world. The purpose of this course is to give you a comprehensive weight training, speed, flexibility, recovery, and endurance program that is meant to prepare young athletes for collegiate and professional sports. This course is packed with over 2 hours of creative, action-packed lifts narrated and coached by yours truly to assure increased strength, speed, flexibility, recovery, and endurance. Hey, I get it. Training alone can be tough and can even make you feel misguided or somewhat unmotivated. But with this course, I walk you step by step through each and every lift to make sure you're using the proper form to prevent injuries and that you're hitting the correct muscle groups to render maximum results. So what are you waiting for? It's now or never. So go ahead and get the training course today so you too can reclaim your throne.